of discipline and the military rules and regulations. It is just by connection of the pure heart. Heart-to-heart connection and sharing our journey together and the guidance, everything is coming from Babaji only. All the methods and techniques and all, and the purpose is to collectively to get towards the enlightenment together in this life itself. And only thing I just wanted to tell that is your spiritual journey. Many of you will share today or maybe in future. Nothing is for without any reason. Everything had a purpose. It is having purpose in future also. It is more and more you grow into awareness, more and more you will observe. It is already that the magic is happening. The miracles are happening already in our lives by Babaji's blessings. Only thing, over the period of time, you will be able to observe and notice it, and then it will bring it to the awareness. So more you share your journey, then it will help each other. And all of us, we are walking our own unique path. So there is no such thing called somebody is ahead, somebody is below, and somebody is, faster or slower. Is nothing of that sort. We are all, as I say, we are having our test paper or the question paper of our own journey is unique. So the set of questions, set of problem you need to solve, those are unique. Therefore, the experiences are also unique. It all happening at its own divine time. So it is just a forum to share that what you experience. Don't go with the right and wrong or appropriateness or something like that. There's nothing of that sort. Whatever your experience, that is your truth. So it is a time to share your truth. Time to time, you have to share your truth. So I appreciate the initiative taken for this, and it is a very good proposal. So we'll continue as proposed for every month, and we'll see if there is a more such requirement. We can increase the frequency as well. So we'll do that, and with the divine blessings, I request moderators to start the event. And by the way, I was hearing about the driver and the steering. Yeah, remember that Lord Krishna was a driver, and that's why whole Mahabharata was formed, Bhagavad Gita. So don't think that the driver's role is anything less than who is being on the chariot itself. So it is a divine thing. Just move ahead, and all the best, the whole group and my family. Thank you.
Yeah, I request now to Ronita introduce our next speaker.
Okay, so our next speaker is Supriya Aunty. So Supriya Aunty has been staying in Bangalore for quite a while now. She stays in Bangalore with her husband and her son. And I met her for the first time during BCP, Babaji Cave Pilgrimage. And it was really, I didn't feel like I'm meeting her for the first time. I felt as though I've known her forever. So she happens to be from Guruji's batch in their engineering college. So Supriya ma'am knows Guruji from 1984. And she happens to be from the same batch. And at that time, she knew him as Mr. Rajdeep Dotto. But now, of course, after she got connected to him and she got initiated by him, and then she became a part of the WeAreOne family. So that's when the purpose of her life was clear to her, that the Guru-Shishya relationship between Guruji and Supriya Aunty was evident. And therefore, over to you, Supriya Aunty, and thank you so much for joining this online get-together, for being a part of it, for being very willing to share your spiritual experience and to share anything else that you want to before and after you joined Guruji. And it's really a privilege to have you share your experience with all of us. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Ronita, for this beautiful introduction. And To everybody present here today, my pranams. Pranam RP. This is a privilege, immense privilege, to present to all of you in this forum and share a few notes about my journey with RPA. Now, how much time, and should I talk about the Kamakhya experiences, or do you want me to talk about generally my spiritual journey with RPA, or before? How do you want me to do this, and for how long do you want me to talk?
There is no very hard and fast rule. So total 5 to 7 minutes you can continue, covering both maybe.
Sure. Okay, I get the idea.
Over time is no going beyond the time, also no problem. We are not bothered about that.
No, there are, I think we have to, some discipline, because otherwise everybody won't get to talk, because there is no ending in the number of experiences with RPA. And for me, each and every one of these experiences is very precious and worthy of sharing. This being the first sharing, I would like to certainly share a little bit also about pre-Kamakhya, though I was under the impression that I will talk only about Kamakhya, but because now that the setting is like this, I think I will share a little bit. So my journey into spirituality, I would say, began when I was born. Pretty much because the family that I was born in is very spiritual, and my mother was a very elevated, lady in her spiritual journey. And RPA also, when I first started talking to RPA about spirituality, and at that time my mother was alive, and he actually did also mention this, that she comes from a different league, so that I am very lucky to have been in that environment since childhood. So that's how I grew up. And when I was 6 years old, actually I was 6 to 7 years old, I was initiated into the Nimbar Sampradaya, and Swami Dhananjay Das Kathia Babaji was my mantra guru. So that's how it continued till I met RPA. I have been following, and I still do my japa. I keep the kriya and this separate, but I do it, and I have not for a single day found any clash between the two. There has been absolutely no clash. It's absolutely apparent that this was the direction which I had to take. So when I met RPA for the first time in 2016, again online, and I had many questions in my mind about my spiritual growth, and where I was getting stuck and things like that. And I started talking to him and trying to understand how I could create a better spiritual journey for myself. So when I was talking to him, and one thing he told me is that it is your guru who has sent me to you. So that was something which, if there was any iota of doubt that, I'm already initiated, and should I be now doing Kriya Yoga, will there be, all that just vanished in that one moment when RPA said that it is your guru. And it felt to me like my guru was actually telling me this, and so from then onwards there was just no looking back. Yes, I certainly did follow whatever RPA, instructed very, I should say, in quite a disciplined way. I did follow. I tried. There were, it's not like it was smooth. There were many challenges. But the one thing which actually changed my perspective to life was the kind of work which I was doing. that is where I was lost, because I was at that time at actually doing a course at IIIT Bangalore, and I had taken a break from my regular corporate work, and I was actually doing this course because I seemed to have found a calling. I was trying to do research, etc. When I met RPA and I shared, he clearly, I could see that he could see, but I couldn't see what he could see. But I knew for sure that, if all I had to do was ask him for guidance, because I was not able to know what to do with my learning that I had in those 3 years that I did my master's by research there. I wasn't too clear what I was supposed to do with that, right? I was trying to find different things. I was getting some different offers. RPA actually showed me the direction of which way to go, and Vidya will talk after me. And that since then, since 2017, actually, Vidya and I have joined to work together, and that was basically the beginning of my journey of service in a way. Also at the same time, satisfaction in terms of work, in terms of contribution to my family as well as to society. So that was basically an entirely Guru Kripa that happened, and I'm totally blessed to be in this life, in this kind of work environment. Post this, throughout the last 8 and more than 8 years, I have been, trying to follow, listen, be part of it. But there have been sometimes, humongous challenges which have come my way. But it was again Guru Kripa that helped me to see beyond the challenges. That has been my journey. Mainly that has been my journey, where I was able to see beyond the challenges and see where my life is going and not get bogged down by the challenges. That is the journey. In fact, I fast forward to last year where we went to the camp. So when I was in the Mahavatar Babaji's cave and I was praying, all of us were meditating, I had no idea what would happen just on the way back. So in fact, I didn't even get time to think actually, or even talk to anybody or anything. We came back, we got on the bus to come back to Delhi, and it was in the bus itself that, hell broke loose for me. I was under the, with all the, information that was coming to me and everything, I was thinking that, okay, I don't think I have the capability to handle situations which I had faced at the time. Okay, so for months together after that, I was going through, a tremendous amount of challenges. And at that time, I realized over that time, where I took a break from almost everything, even to that matter, formal spiritual practices and everything I was doing, but not in the way which I was doing earlier, with permission from RPA, of course. And at that time, I realized that all these challenges were to get me detached from whatever little attachment I still had with all these entities which are connected to me in this life. That was the one big learning which happened over the last 1 year. Now, when we went to Kamakhya, just before we went to Kamakhya, as all of you know, it was planned well in advance. I was absolutely not sure that I would be able to go. My going to Kamakhya itself was Guru Kripa, was a miracle. Because I had not even told anybody that I want to go. Or of course, I always wish to go wherever there is a workshop or a camp. I wish I'm there, but of course, it's not possible because of all our commitments. So I just told RPA. So RPA said, "Yeah, you come." He usually never says you come, right? He says it will be good for you. So the day he said it will be good for you if you come, that day I booked my tickets. Okay. But I had not told anybody in my family that I have booked my tickets or I will go. And I wasn't even sure how I'm going to do this. The day before traveling to Guwahati, I actually had to inform. And so I told RPA, with your blessings, I'm going to inform the family that I'm going to be away for 2 days. He said, you have my blessings. And it was a miracle because I didn't even have to say. I wanted to say, it was in my mind. And, my family was there. And before I could say, actually, my husband actually asked me, do you, there is something to do and would, I do in Guwahati and something like that. And then I just said that, I'm going to go for this camp. And there was absolutely no, what should I say, any sort of a reaction, negative reaction or anything like that. It was just like so positive, like I was just, it was meant to be kind of a thing. So that is how the journey began. Then in Kamakhya, 2 or 3 experiences I have shared during when I shared my experiences over in the group. The one experience that I have mentioned there, saying that regarding the when my son was born, within 2 months of his birth, I had actually been to Kamakhya, and I had dropped the umbilical cord at a Kamakhya at a particular site and come. Now I had no idea why I was doing that. Nobody told me, nothing. I just felt that that's where it belongs. I went, I prayed to the Divine Mother, and I said, this is where it belongs. And I had no idea. This time when I went, and we were standing in queue, we went in, and the realization dawned that why am I here? It's basically Ma Kamakhya is telling me, and it was like as if I was in meditation and it was coming to me. Why do you worry about a connection which has already been given to me? You have already, surrendered that connection to me. I am in charge. Why do you worry about anything? And that umbilical connection that was with me was me. I was just an instrument for that birth. And once it was done, I should not be, because physically I'm not attached anymore. That's over. My job is over. After that, she's taking care. And the only thing I could just be grateful, right? So that was a message which was coming to me constantly, which I felt very grateful. And I realized why RP asked me to be there. So that camp, it helped me to, just see myself from somewhere else. And it was Supriya being seen by somebody else. It was not me anymore. So that was one of the biggest revelations. The other one was, during when we were on the boat for Karmakshalan. So if, all of you noticed that, we were on the message that kept coming to me was that it's like it's basically the journey of life. It's the journey of life. It's the river of life on which we are. And look at who is sitting with you. Your guru is there. Your guru, your kandari, your guide, your mentor is there with you. What is there to worry? And towards what? Towards removing all our baggage, our karma of lifetimes, and to continue on this journey towards, all the twists and turns and overcoming them. And there is no need to be fearful. There is just enough time to be just grateful for every moment that we have. So that was another amazing, feeling of satisfaction, of gratitude, everything. And the other, I just want to share quickly the last thing, because I think there are many more things which others have to share, was, so when we were going from Guwahati dock towards temple, we were crossing. So we all got into the barge where we were then to get onto the boat, right? So we all went there. And we were all sitting, we all went in and we had to go in and sit inside, wait till our boat comes, right? And what did RPA tell us at that time? RPA said, all of you sit here, don't get out of the boat. And as soon as the other boat comes, don't get out of this barge and try to get into the boat. Be here. Everybody was rushing to get into the boat because they would get place to sit, right? And all people in our team also all wanted to go, but RPA was there guiding us. He said, don't go, please wait. Don't go, wait wait till everybody else completes. And then, we listened, right? We stayed back. After that, what happened during the journey? Everybody who went inside was actually boiling in that heat. But all of us who were with him outside and who were there with him, we just had such a pleasant journey in the beautiful breeze. And, that was a learning that, just to be with your Guru, in proximity of the Guru, and to just with you, it's not even blind faith. It's just about knowing that this is a message coming from the divine. And you just go with it. So that was another major thing, which I think the larger learning for me was that to continue to be under the, blessings and protection of RPA's Guruji. Thank you so much. I hope I know I have overshot my time probably, but I just make it shorter than this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Supriya. बहुत सुंदर बात आपने बोली है. And I will just mention सुप्रिया को देखने में जो है mostly मुझे मातृशक्ति का याद आता है. Mother Nature, she's so caring. Even you will not be knowing beyond the thing, beyond the background also, and she takes care of so many things without nobody knowing it actually. Food and other things in the camp also, and she was praying for us in the Kamakhya also. And we are not knowing actually. So every time Matri Shakti मैं उनको माध्यम में देखता हूँ, so it was really a very good experience sharing. So now I'll hand over to Ronita for the next speaker.
So our next speaker is very special. Of course, all of us are special in our own ways, in our own unique ways, not taking away from that at all. But विद्या जो है वो blind है, वो by birth blind है, लेकिन उसी के वजह से वो extraordinary है. I call it specially abled क्योंकि ये extraordinary वो जो extraordinary उनको कहा जाता है वो इसी के वजह से है, because she got the President's Award last year, and she's a social entrepreneur. She works with Supriya Aunty, and she is an international motivation speaker. She's been felicitated, honored at many national and international platforms. अब क्योंकि विद्या का विजन नहीं रहा है, वो देख नहीं पाती हैं बचपन से by birth, तो उनको बहुत सारी कठिनाइयों का सामना करना पड़ा है बचपन से. So it's been quite a struggle for her during her childhood. और लेकिन obviously divine के कुछ और ही plans थे. The divine wanted something else for her. So, then grace entered her life through encounters with masters, which were both living and transcendental. And obviously then discipleship followed naturally. And this grace from the masters, it transformed Vidya's life in an amazing way. एक बहुत खूबसूरत turning point उनके life में आया. And obviously, जो masters है, उन्होंने विद्या को ये realize कराया that a life of abundance meant all-round growth, which is both in the spiritual and materialistic dimensions. तो विद्या अभी हमारे साथ जुड़ी हुई हैं. It's a pleasure to have her, and she's going to talk about her life, which is before spirituality and after she was introduced to spirituality. So over to you, Vidya. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you so much for sharing your experience. And it's no secret that you're a motivation and an inspiration for not only WeAreOne family members, but for the whole world. So thank you so much, and over to you. Please share.
Thank you so much. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really don't know what to share in front of RPA because all we have learned from RPA. So it's like a bit weird today. But I thought I'll just talk a little bit about my childhood and little bit about how I was introduced to spirituality. And of course, I cannot share all the experiences and everything. That I can do later on in other sessions. But now I just wanted to share about some of the fundamental perspective related transformation that has happened, because what we see is when we are with the masters, one insight can really change our life. And if we're talking about just one insight, we get so many insights, and it can really transform life completely if we follow those insights. So for me, the main trouble, so what I realized now is that there is nothing like spiritual life or otherwise. It's life, just life. But what we do, what is the difference is that when we come to spirituality, we are just aware. And when we are not in the spiritual path, what we call spiritual path, we are not aware. But all that we have to go through, we are anyway going through, and in different journeys. So whatever journey we have left, from there we have to start the next journey. So for me, for this life, it was what shall I say, the childhood was completely, I was away from the source. Like, I thought I'm not able to fit into the group because I couldn't see. So right from childhood, there have always been challenges, like I cannot study like everybody else, as in say I need special material to study. Then I cannot go out. Like in teenage years, I was stuck with these thoughts that I cannot go like everybody else to movies. If I want one glass of coffee, I need to ask somebody else to make it for me. If I want to step out of home, then I need somebody's help. At home, I need somebody's help. So it was very, very frustrating. And what shall I say? As I grew older, the frustration only increased. And that was one thing. And I always felt for everybody there are some goals, like, okay, a child goes to school first, and then the child goes to college, and then they get a job, then they get married, then they have children. So there is a specific path. Then the children grow up, and then you grow old. So there's at least some path that is there for everybody to follow. And when you're in the comfort zone, you feel good, you feel like, okay, you're doing things like everybody else. So for me, the entire thing was completely, what shall I say, not in order. Basically, uncertainty was there everywhere. Because right from the beginning, my parents, they did not know which school I'll go to, because we were not aware of special schools. Next, no idea whether I'll even finish my education, or how does it work. Nobody knows. Anyways, I did very well. And then later on college. So at home, we were not aware of what things to be done, but at the right time, right guidance happened, and right things fell in place. So to just give you an example, when I was stuck at home, when I was small, when I was 3 or 4, I was at home doing nothing. Basically, no path, no destination, nowhere to go. And the doctor who operated one of my eyes, she was the first one to tell my parents that, okay, the eyesight is not coming back, it's gone forever. Forever means in this lifetime again. So then she will never be able to see, but because you have named her Vidya, why don't you consider giving her good education? That was the first ray of hope that my parents got. And then they said, okay, education is possible. So nobody knew, okay, it could have been like anybody else, because I know one person who is visually impaired. She's just lives next door as in at least 300 meters away from my home, I guess. So now she's in her 50s, end of 50s. She never comes out of home. So there are so many people stuck at home, and so many different things happen. It could have been me, but somehow at the right time the guidance came. Now next, what am I going to do? Okay, that guidance has come. Then education, we know that I can study, but how? So nobody knew, because I was from a village. And then there was one uncle who stayed close to my house. So once he saw some board which was there on the vehicle, so he read that it's a charitable center for the disabled. And then he followed the vehicle for 15 kilometers. And then he knew that, okay, there is a center nearby. And fortunately for me, there was only one person who had studied till 10th grade, and she gave me basic informal education before I went to school. So like this, at every step, things have been falling in place. Things have been, so then I went to college, and then later on, even then I got to know, okay, we have Microsoft nearby in Bangalore itself, and then I luckily got into it. And then I ended up not getting any job after that, though I got a gold medal in my class. And that is when, with Supriya ma'am, I started Vision Empower, because I had faced all of these struggles, and I knew at that time that I have to work for the visually impaired. And that's how things fell in place. So what I wanted to say is that all of these, it was not that I was not into spirituality. I was learning all these lessons, like how you should surrender. That lesson was being taught right from the beginning, that you can't take control of everything that you're doing. More and more challenges are there. Naturally, you let go of you being able to take control of it, and you surrender to the flow of life. That was the first lesson that I was learning in some or the other way. As I told you, all synchronistic experiences were there. Nobody knew what to do with me. So from the beginning, I was learning this lesson of surrender and trusting in just God. I didn't know about Babaji, Mataji, nothing at that time. So trusting in God, that was the first one. And second thing is that I was learning the lesson that I'm complete in myself. Because wherever I went, as I told you, I couldn't belong to the group. I couldn't explain to people why they should be with me. So there was some or the other way where, in any of the sense of the world, I am not fitting in. So obviously, I used to cry so much. I used to be so depressed, and I used to feel so lost. But now I realize it was all the lesson to teach me that I'm complete in myself. And the third thing is that, um you know the breaking point of life was after the little before I started my work at Vision Empower, the organization that we are running, because life was so difficult. Now I'm not seeing the world, so I'm always with my inner world, which means at that time it was only thoughts and emotions, nothing more. All grief and fear and so many negative emotions. If you come to thoughts, all thoughts about how I'm so different, how I cannot control my life, how unfortunate things are, all of these kind of thoughts, those kind of emotions. So naturally, if somebody else is there, so if they want some break, everyone will try to be away from the reality as in what is your mind's reality at that time, by turning on the TV or looking at Facebook or talking to people or going out or having your own food, having the food that you like. All of these, for me, nothing of this was available. Like, I am there with myself at that time is only thoughts and emotions, and naturally it will drive me crazy. And I went into depression, that I couldn't wake up. Like, I was sleeping the whole day, and there were so many other personal issues. And that is when, literally, um I would Google for, like, how will I end my life. So I think if I could see, I would have really taken that step. And then later I realized, okay, this thing is not possible for me. I can't do it by myself, so leave it. But it was a breaking point, and then I would pray to God, please do something about it. I cannot carry on even for one more day. I just cannot. And that is the time when somebody who lived nearby my home, they told me, okay, you can pray to Sai Baba, and you can read stories about Sai Baba and everything. That was the first time I what shall I say, got to know about that. Okay, masters are there. I didn't know formally that the word master or guru or anything like that, but I just would pray. And Then at that time, I had met Supriya ma'am also, and we had started the work. And one day she knew that I'm having all of these problems because I was never feeling okay. I was always feeling very low, and it had just been 1 month that we had started the work. And then she said, "You know what? There's my batchmate. His name is Rajdeep, and I know him very well. Why don't you meet him once?" She didn't tell me, okay, it is spirituality or anything. She told that there is a camp in Bangalore. Why don't you meet? Why don't you talk to him? I first thought in my mind, you know what? Any counselor won't be able to heal me because they will not be able to understand what I'm going through. But, anyways, there is no other choice. If anyone would have taken me anywhere, I would have gone at that time. Anything to make me feel better. Even anything that will take me away from that reality, which was my thoughts and emotions, I'm ready to do it. That was the mindset with which I went for the first camp. So when I meet RPA, it was like, what is happening? Like every word that I'm hearing is so full of love, and energy never lies. So though you're not able to see someone, you can pick it up by the vibration, you can pick it up by the energy. And for me, it's mostly um, sense of how I feel by talking to somebody. So I just started noticing some difference. Like it's not normal person. Like when you meet a person, you say, "Hi, how are you? Okay, what did you have for breakfast?" Conversation over. Okay, little bit of counseling tips, and you're back home. It was not going to be like this. And by the way, camp was over. I couldn't attend the camp, but I attended the next day, just to meet RPA. And that first time, RPA taught me stomach breathing techniques, little bit, only 3:2 breathing, how to do. And that's about it. That meeting got over. But so, what changed in me that day was, for the first time, I'm feeling that love. The love that I was craving for all of these years in this lifetime. I always used to pray to God. I wouldn't have any preference of whom I'll pray to. Just I'll pray to God that I want to meet somebody who loves me so much. Like that was my craving forever, like in this lifetime, because I'm not fitting in anywhere. I can't feel belonged. I just didn't know where I belong. So that I felt that day that, okay, this is the kind of thing that I was looking for. Someone who loves you, who just loves you. Doesn't matter what, because I didn't know about RPA as much at that time, and just I'm feeling the energy and I felt good. But I can't share about all the experiences today, but to just tell a few more things. Um, when I went back home, I just wanted to keep in touch with RPA because I felt good. It's not like I had anybody else that I will talk to and feel good about. No spirituality, nothing, but I just wanted to keep in touch. So every day I would ask some question, like on message. So I got reply first day, and then I got reply second day, and then I got reply third day. I got it for a week, 2 weeks. I'm like, who would answer you so much despite going to work and then coming home? Who would have so much time for you? Like, I have never seen anybody like this who can give you everything that they have. And my questions, I think I can share in other sessions, or we'll see how to share some of these answers that I got. But I had very fundamental questions like, why am I feeling that time I was having some major personal challenges. First of all, with RPA's grace, those things got solved. Otherwise, by now it would have been very different. I would have gone further and further away from the source, from myself. Then I asked RPA about things like, what should you do when somebody is not cooperating with you? What should you do when you're feeling very low, like you're having very low self-esteem? So some of the things that RPA would tell me is that, for the low self-esteem, first it told me that you have to take responsibility for yourself. You can't get into the poor me syndrome and say that, oh my God, all unfortunate things have happened to me. So it was not easy because my identity means my visual impairment at that time. I was so attached to it that anything happens, I will put it on this. Like, okay, it is because I can't see these things. Can be anything. So I started noticing these kind of thought patterns, and I started noticing the emotions that are attached to these thoughts. So first the thought will be there, then it will lead to some emotion that you have about it. And then you think about it and you cry or whatever you do, it slowly takes away the energy from you. That means you're reducing your prana and you feel low naturally. Now you have to do those stomach breathing techniques 3 times. One time, if you do, nothing will happen because you've gone so low. But these stomach breathing exercises, they helped me so much that I felt very good for the first time. I mean, I had that awareness of thought. And then I started with meditation. And I got those experiences very quickly. Like I started feeling light. I started feeling Babaji Mataji's presence immediately. So Babaji Mataji's little bit I'll just mention, and I'll just maybe wind up for today because experiences are plenty and lessons are plenty that I learned. We can have it in the next sometime whenever. But I would always, whenever I feel low, I would pray for the unknown, like the mother and father. Which mother and father I never knew. But all of my childhood, I would pray to the unknown mother and father. Always I thought about that kind of relationship, that I just want unconditional love from mother and father. Now I realize, and also like when I was in 6th grade, 5th grade, those days, whenever I feel very low, then sometimes I felt exact Babaji's energy that I feel now. But I thought, okay, what is this? I'm crying so much and I'm not feeling good, and suddenly magically it has disappeared and I'm feeling okay. But at that time, I didn't have any adult who could listen to these things, and they would think I'm maybe hallucinating and nothing like that. But now I realized it was Babaji guiding me all along. But now it's very different. Like Mataji has been there 24 hours, 7 days a week. She never gets tired. Even now, she's there. So I can feel her physical touch and Babaji's blessings also always. That has been like the biggest blessing. And RPA taught me how to get connected. And once I got connected, there has been limitless communication. They are now these days, I feel like no matter who is there or not, if I wake up at 3 o'clock, Mataji, Babaji are there. If I wake up at 2 o'clock, also they're there every day and night. They are there. So I feel very connected and very happy now. So just and after that I met Guruji, Guruma, and so many experiences have happened. RPA has taught so many things. But what I should say, and little bit about the work, obviously that was my mission, that I had to work for visually impaired people. Both for my spiritual journey, I had to complete whatever mission I had for this community. I have to complete that. So I'm working for visually impaired people. And naturally, if you follow your mission, success will follow. So a lot of success has happened. So what I want to say is we are always on the path. Either we are disconnected and we are not aware, but we are learning lesson every time. Whatever challenge, whatever trouble we have in life, that is the area we need to improve on. And every insight that master gives, like any small insight that master gives, if we implement it sincerely, because nobody can know what is within us than us, because you know your thoughts, you know your emotions. If you watch yourself intensely, then you know what you are going through. You know exactly what are your challenges. Everyone will go through those. So the more honest we are, the more we are able to look within And the more we are able to implement what masters are saying, that is when huge transformation will happen. And that is when life will change. Because even if we do meditation every day, it may increase our prana and everything, but again, the thoughts come back if the patterns are not changed. The energy again goes down. So you have to put in 10 times more effort in the next week to get to the same level. But only through the awareness, if we are able to sustain that understanding, and if we are able to implement what masters are saying, and also practicing simultaneously. Like there are techniques for cleansing yourself, as masters taught us. There are meditations, kriya, all of that, the spiritual practices which will increase our awareness, and whatever understanding masters give, awareness and understanding, both of it happens simultaneously, parallelly together. Only then the process will be quicker, much quicker. But as we all know, the journey is not easy and there's no end. So now I'm exploring something else, deeper and deeper. I'm going in deeper levels and exploring more. So I hope we all continue this journey together and explore the depths of whatever life has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya. Very nice, very inspiring talk. So we all enjoyed it. And Vidya is actually, she lives in a very different world actually. Very innocent and very pure, that sort of thing. And I have got so many messages of Mataji through Vidya actually. So actually Vidya in some way represent Mataji to me. So that is a great thing about Vidya for me. So thank you, Vidya. Thank you so much. So before we go to the next speaker, it is now open for comments and other things, how people are feeling. We have next speaker as Vikas Kabishar. But before that, I'll request others to join in and say a few words, whatever comments.
I wanted to share something about Vidya. Is that okay? 1 minute.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. So you said Vidya gets you messages, had been the messenger for Mataji for you. So this is an incident about 2 years back. So I was in California at the time. I was in California with my son, and I had the photograph which RPA gave, right, which we put in our prayer place and where we do our meditation. So I put her there, and that was the first time I have put that asana in my son's house. And that day I had a sort of an apparition that that there was somebody who I know who looks just like Mataji, and I looked at Mataji's and I was closing my eyes and praying, and Vidya's face came in front of my in my vision. Okay, and at that time I didn't know about anything else. It came to my vision. I kept it with me. I actually told Vidya about this later, that I put the Mataji's picture and I prayed, and your image came in front of me. That's exactly what happened. I think it wasn't about maybe a week or so after that is when I came to know that Vidya and RPA, our Guruji, and what's his name? He lives in Australia.
Anurag Saha.
Anurag,
right? Were actually siblings in a previous birth. And Mataji was actually their mother who had raised them. And this was something I did not know at the time when this message came to me that Vidya has something to do with Mataji, and it came to me. So I just wanted to share this with everybody in all humility, And yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Supriya. So we are going little not as per our planning, but it is all right. We are not really that way time bound. So I'll, if anybody else want to say a few words, you are welcome before we go to the next speaker. So you can raise your hands, or you can just. Then if there is no comments, then we will go to the next speaker. Okay, so our next speaker is Vikas Kavishar. So actually, I first met him, I think, in Ganga Sagar camp. We are together, and that is the first time we met. He is an engineer by profession. Now he is based in Baroda and engineering consultant. And he has started his spiritual journey sometime in long back, 91, 92. Before I go ahead, I think Monica ji want to say something. Because, so I'll just ask Monica ji to say your comments. Is it Monica?
Yeah, Monica's sister, Sonika.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sonika ji, please go ahead.
See, Pranam everyone. I don't know how I don't know how you planned, but the way this conversation and this experience session is going on is really great, and I think probably it should go like this. As you're saying, you planned it something else, but the way it is going, it is like a flow. We all are flowing along with this. It's wonderful because we are hearing, the first hand experiences for the first time from everyone. It is really great and touchy, and as if we can connect to whatever, they are saying. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonika ji. Nice for your sharing. It is a good feedback actually. You cannot see now in online platform. It is very difficult. Good to connect to others. Video is also mostly off, and so if you express with you, give a thanks, and just so we can also understand the things that everybody is enjoying, and we are doing it in the right way. So I will go to the next speaker now, because he started his journey with actually Ramakrishna Mission. He was connected with Chennai Ramakrishna Mission, then Mumbai, and then I think Belur Math Ramakrishna Mission. He has a long association. Then he came to WeAreOne, and we are attending the camps, and we have very good conversation at the camps also, and otherwise also. So now he is also, his full family is with us actually in the WeAreOne group. His wife and son also. So it is very nice to have him here as a speaker. So I'll ask Vikas ji to say a few words about his journey.
Yeah. Thank you, Nirupam ji. I am audible, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. And Om Mangalam to all. And my pranams to Guruji, RPA Guruji. My journey with WeAreOne group started in 2020 when I was in Abu Dhabi for working for ADNOC. And it was that COVID time. And we are all working from home. And I had a common friend who is also a devotee of Ramakrishna Mission. He used to come to my flat because we are he is on ground floor, I am on third floor. So just to chat. And there he once mentioned about RPA Guruji. And I thought I had requested him, you please connect me to him. I don't know why I said at the first place only, because it was destined that I should be connected to him. And before that, I was not knowing about Mahavatar Babaji and all, because I was devoted to Ramakrishna Mission totally from 1992 onwards. And I was initiated by Bhuteshanand Maharaj in 1998 at Belur Math. So he was 12th president. And when I was going through Mahavatar Babaji's life and all that, then I found that I am connected to a right person as a my, and then he initiated me online on maybe 24th June or 23rd June 2020, and that after that I completely surrendered to Mahavatar Babaji, because he probably my guru has sent this particular opportunity to get connected with Mahavatar Babaji. And then I met him in person, RPA Guruji, in 2022, after 2 years at Gangasagar camp. And that was a very memorable camp for me. After Karmashalan and all, we went to Shriram, right? For Yukteswar Giri. Yeah. There one miracle happened with me. That is what I am going to that, that memory. 20 years back when I was in Abu Dhabi for a short time, I got a dream. In dream, I saw in morning hours, one sannyasi came and put his hand over. I made pranam to that sannyasi, and he put his hand on my head, and also did like this, means opening the eyes or something like that. I took it like that. And I was all the way, when I saw first Yukteswar Giri's photo, I thought this was the sannyasi who I saw in the dream. But later on, when I was sitting and meditating, we are all meditating there. Suddenly, one flash came to me that it was not me. It was Vijay Krishna Goswami, who was Brahma Samaj follower, and then he met Ram Krishna, and he became a very devoted Krishna Bhakta. That flash came to me that it was not me, it was Vijay Krishna Goswami. Okay, so that I thought I will mention it here particularly, specifically. And then, of course, there are so many incidents. I attended all the camps after that, mostly 5 camps and one Babaji caves. There and in Babaji's caves, when we came down from the cave and started meditating, and second day also when we went to other place for meditation, that time I specifically wanted to mention that time I lost my outer consciousness, not consciousness, outer knowledge of who is sitting where and all that. That was a different experience for me, so deep meditation. And because I was sitting next to Guruji, so maybe his effect has come on me. That is what I feel. And then in Kamakhya, later this last month when we went there, in Kamakhya, when we were standing in the queue, somehow I was drawn inside and I was chanting one shloka of Saptashati book. And I don't know how long I did that, but it was something which was unexpected. I never thought I will do that. And there was no planning for me. And next day when we went to what you call for Karmashalan. In Karmashalan, when we were sitting and doing that, before Karmashalan, we were sitting and doing our
Earth Kriya and egg.
Earth Kriya. That time, suddenly I realized, then when we were shooting in a half circle, I realized that we are getting inspected. Inspection was done by Shivji himself, along with Parvati. I shared this with Guruji next day, And he said it was not a brain construct because it was because there was a funeral place behind us. So it was his this thing, and Kamakhya was for mother. So this happened. So which gave me chilling my effect in me. And really, from 2020 onwards till today, I feel that my awareness is increasing and my heart is also opening up, and it welcomes everybody without any prejudices. And I feel good when I meet somebody. I feel that, okay, I am connected with him, so he has come to me. So that is what the progress I'm going through. So that's what it. I think time will permit for next speaker. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bikasji. So now I will ask Ronita to introduce the next speaker.
Yes. Before I introduce the next speaker, I am quite in a daze. मतलब विकास अंकल ने जो बताया है, मतलब I really feel like this is the reason. I think a few minutes back Sonika auntie mentioned कि हम जैसे कर रहे हैं वैसे ही अच्छा है. जो हमने प्लान कुछ और किया था और हो कुछ और रहा है. Obviously, I mean, we never knew we were in for this, but really grateful to Babaji and Mataji. I mean, I'm really dazed. I was in a trance listening to Vidya and then Vikas uncle, especially that aspect about Shivji and Parvati ji inspecting us. I am getting goosebumps, So thank you so much, Vikas uncle, for sharing such a profound and intense experience. This is the reason why we are doing this, and this is exactly what I mean, somehow unconsciously we intended to do that. You all come up with all your experiences, spiritual and otherwise, because sometimes it gets lost because we go to the camp and come back. It's in a jiffy. तो समझ में नहीं आता है कभी-कभी क्योंकि and Kamakhya was very compact, very tight. हमने इतना कुछ किया 1.5 दिन में, and these are the kind of experiences that we are here to hear. So without much further ado, I'll introduce our next speaker, which is Mo auntie. So Mo auntie, I met Mo auntie for the first time during Guru Purnima camp last year. पौंडीचेरी में उनसे मुलाकात हुई थी. वो भी आए थे, उनकी बेटी भी आई थी, और हम दोनों में कॉमन कनेक्शन है अभी. Of course, WeAreOne तो है ही, but both of us were connected to Guruji by Pinky auntie, Miss Pinky Sinha, who is based out of the US. She's also a member of the WeAreOne family. So Mo auntie happens to be Guruji's. So Guruji happens to be Mo auntie's senior from the engineering college, Bengal Engineering College in West Bengal, and then of course she was an engineering student there, and then she got reconnected to Guruji through Pinky auntie, and then her journey in Kriya Yoga started. Her first camp experience was Guru Purnima, and I guess now she can continue sharing her experiences. Before that, I'll just mention that she's based out of Calcutta, and she stays in Calcutta with 2 lovely daughters, one of whom I've met, which is Naira. Naira came to Pondicherry in Guru Purnima, and hopefully I'll get an opportunity to meet her again. And of course, now over to Mohu auntie, so that you can share your experience and enlighten us.
Thank you. Pranam to everyone. Sabko and mera namaskar. So I was thinking what to share, to be honest. And then I think in the beginning, the direction became a little clearer. So I'll talk about a bit about my spiritual journey, and then a little bit of my life experience. I mean, what has really helped and supported my spiritual journey in my life. So that, these are the 2 parts I thought, but I'll try to keep it short. I know we are running late. So my childhood, again, like Shupriyadi said, I was also from a very religious type of family. In fact, my childhood, I heard stories of Ramayana from my grandparents, stories of, Behula Lokhindar, Shoti Shabitri, all these different stories were told to me. So there's a lot of spiritual miracle, this kind of experience I had. From stories. I also went to a missionary school. So that way, the whole church, Jesus, and miracles that Jesus did, that also, stayed with me. So my childhood I was a God-fearing, very much dedicated to religious beliefs. That was my childhood. But I somehow used to have some connection. I always believed there was someone watching me all the time. There was like a light always watching me. And whenever I'm troubled, I would talk to that someone and I would get an answer. The trouble would go off. So I was like a happy child. Someone is there, God or whatever be that. And usually it was either Krishna, Ma Kali or Jesus. These were the three images that came to me. So that was my childhood. Then I grew up and science started becoming part of my life in a big way. Then I started questioning these rituals, superstitions, and I started seeing, hey, does it really make sense? What is this all about? Then what happened was, again, life was good. I was young. I went to college, engineering. We had fun. So I was not so spiritually inclined at that time. It was more of life is good. Nothing can happen to me bad. That kind of a... Then hell broke down around 2014. Yes, that's when we met with a huge family crisis. So that's when I had a deep, existential crisis, and I started questioning. All the greatness and everything just disappeared suddenly. Said, okay, why is this happening to me? Why me? Okay, I never thought anything bad could happen to me. And when this happened, 2 to 3 years, I don't want to get into the details of what happened. It was about my brother, but net, the whole family went through a very, very difficult time for 2 to 3 years. I would say was real crisis. Didn't go out, didn't do anything. 2016 is when my husband introduced me to Vipassana. Okay, so Vipassana is what then I would say brought in a defining moment for me. So I went for a 10-day camp in Shodhpur, Kolkata. And that was the time when this whole thing about mind, matter, breath, all of this started making sense. So Vipassana, by Goenka ji, he would really explain life in a very different way. Spirituality, nothing religious. Again, it was spiritual. So that brought in some amount of, what do you call it, method in the madness, I would say. So as a family, we were really, adopting that. I practiced every day religiously, and it was giving me some peace of mind. And I'm not saying challenges don't happen, but this kind of trauma was for the first time I faced in my life. And that created a big shift in the way I looked at things. So that happened. So 8 years, fast forward, okay, 8 years I've been going through that. I've had professional, personal challenges, but thankfully I could face it with positivity. Then came, but somewhere I was feeling a need to search a little more. And then 2024 is when Pinky came from US. And this was just after the camp. You had your Ranikhet camp. And I was seeing some pictures. Shupriyadi was there and all of that. I said, wow, all familiar faces. And that's when Pinky said, hey, why don't you, I actually spoke about you during the camp, and Rajdipda was asking, how are you and all. I said, really, can I connect with him? So I don't know why, it just occurred to me, can I connect? So she said, yeah, sure, I'll give you his number. I said, no, you tell him it's okay to connect. Well, no, please go ahead. So that was my reconnection. And it was a very, what to say, like everyone shared. I think the main difference was the energy. As soon as I connected, I could feel a very, I knew Rajdipda as that pretty thin. I'm not saying anything about the physical aspect, but what I remembered in college. And I remember when he used to be there, we would be like, there was a lot of fun. We would laugh, and he was one of those fun characters in college. But now I saw very different, there was a lot of warmth. I got a lot of like that feeling of fatherly, brotherly figure who I know I can depend on. I don't know, suddenly that feeling came. I explained to him my journey and the Vipassana, what is it? And similar to Shupriya, what she shared, all my questions, doubts like dissolved as soon as he gave me some amazing examples. He talked of Ramakrishna, Sri Thakur's one example of how the wooden blocks, right, when they are transported over the rivers, sometimes they come and get stuck to the banks. And then someone comes and moves it. Again, it starts moving. I don't know, it just related. I just could relate to that very much. It was so relevant for my situation. So then I said, no, I mean, this is it. There's a message. Something has pulled me here. It's a calling. I will go for it. So that's when I went for the Pondicherry camp. And to really be honest, this family, all of you, made me feel so welcome. Each one of you. I mean, I remember me and my daughter, we never felt like we were new. As soon as just that starting itself was so warm. So I really thank you for that, for accepting us very nicely, embracing us. And therefore, so that's a bit on my journey. And of course, coming back to Guruji, I think what I felt and I find in him is, like I said, there is a lot of practicality in also the way I'm taking my spiritual journey forward. I find it's a very practical approach. These weekly connects are really giving me a rhythm, okay, in life, because we get sucked into day-to-day work. But this is like a reminder all the time. I mean, somewhere all the things that came seemed like very timely for me, and I'm in the right direction. So that's where we are now, and I hope to continue in this journey. Just I'll have maybe a minute to share an experience. Not an experience. What I wanted to share was that in addition to this spiritual journey, what I also did, like when I was doing soul searching during this time of existential crisis, I also wanted to understand that, see, things have not been, there were some challenges, traumas in my life, but overall it's been good. I mean, I don't regret anything that happened in my life, and I'm very grateful for it. So what is it that keeps me going? And there are two qualities, and one specifically I wanted to mention, because this was told to me by my husband, who's married now for 30 to 33 years. So he's seen me enough. A number of my bosses told me in professional life. I think one thing that has kept me going is forgiveness. It comes very inherently to me. Okay, I don't need to make an effort to forgive. I mean, every day is a new day. I don't keep any anger or anything. It's not like I don't get angry, but I very easily can, this is something I've been told and I have observed. So I thought I'll share that this has really helped me flow with nature. So this is one thing I thought I'll share. And I also trust very easily. People call me naive, gullible, but I feel trust is something that until I'm proven wrong, I go with trust. So I thought I'll just share these two life messages, life, learnings, so that, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
महुआ, बहुत अच्छा बताया आपने. It is very inspiring. ये सही बात है. हम लोग सबको विश्वास करते हैं और WeAreOne का ही हम लोग का स्पेशलिटी है. हम लोग सबको विश्वास करते हैं. जरूरत होगा तो हो जाए कुछ भी, लेकिन हम सबको विश्वास करते हैं. We take everybody. So it was nice. This thing अभी मेरे ख्याल से क्या है, हम लोग थोड़ा टाइम का हिसाब से थोड़ा ये हो गया, चेंज हो गया, टाइम थोड़ा स्लिप हो गया. तो अभी जो है, अभी मुझे लगता है कि ओपन इज नाउ, फोरम इज नाउ ओपन फॉर कमेंट्स एक्चुअली इन बिटवीन टू डिफरेंट स्पीकर्स. और कोई किसी का कमेंट्स देना है तो अच्छा, सुप्रिया जी प्लीज गो अहेड.
Yeah, since Mohua spoke, I also wanted to say something about Mohua. So Mohua I know her since she was a little girl in Shillong. And then, of course, she came to B college, and then, okay, I know her since then. So, other thing is, I know I shared a lot about, what there are a lot of things she has done. She has achieved a lot in her professional career and all of that. But I don't know where down the line, she decided to also try and do some of the soul searching, like which in terms of the work that she contributes to. And currently, for the last 1 year, Mohu actually works with Vidya and me. And yes, and Moha contributes hugely, very selflessly. She contributes, and I do not think this would have been possible had it not been for Guru Kripa. So I totally feel blessed that that Moha joined Vision Empower and is with us. And the kind of changes that we are able to do is entirely because of Guru Kripa and Babaji and Mataji's plan. So thank you so much, RPA, for making it happen. Thank you, Moha. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much. And Shupriyadi's connection with me was again a totally, absolutely Guru Kripa. It was very divine connection. I was just thinking about contributing and I met her. I won't go into the details, but another miracle in my life.
This is exactly the kind of interaction we are expecting, actually. So if anybody else want to come out with some more comments, it will be nice. Otherwise, actually let other people come with the comments. So what happened? We have some photo session, actually. I think Ronita will go ahead with the photo session before the next speaker. So
okay. You want me to share the screen? Do you want to share, or do you want?
I'll share. Let me start. If there isn't problem, then we will share. Okay. So in between, what I expect that as I show the photos, please come out with your comments and whatever stories and other things. You are most welcome. You can just raise your hand and please come up. So basically, as a speaker, inviting speaker is just to have a content. Actually, without content, it is difficult to have a online meeting. Just not like an adda. So that's why we are having speakers. But our main aim is that interaction with all of us. And photo session is exactly the where you can all chip in and give your comments. So I'll try to start the sharing. Let me see how it goes.
So in the meanwhile, as Nirupam uncle tries to share the photographs from the Kamakhya trip, I'm really overwhelmed with the kind of stories that we are getting to hear, the experiences, or ये जो हम आपस में ये जो बातें कर रहे हैं, जो शेयर कर रहे हैं, ये बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर ये नहीं होगा तो फिर हम एक साथ नहीं ग्रो कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि हम एक फैमिली है, हम एक परिवार है, और परिवार के सारे सदस्यों को, we are soul sisters, soul brothers somewhere. Like for example, I feel I've been to close to 5 camps. So मुझे बहुत लोगों के साथ एक बहुत ही अपना एक बहुत ही पर्सनल एक टचिंग कनेक्शन रहता है. Somewhere I get fatherly emotions, I get motherly emotions. I feel some of our family members are very protective about me. I feel I get brotherly or sisterly vibes from a lot of our family members. तो ये सारी चीजें जब हम एक दूसरे के साथ शेयर करेंगे, हम जब एक साथ ये ऑनलाइन मीटिंग में हम पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे, it's not a meeting, first of all, it's a get together, it's a rendezvous. So हम अगर ये करेंगे ना, तो ये मुझे लगता है ये हमारे एक्सपीरियंस को भी एनहांस करेगा, बिकॉज बाबा जी के में जो हुआ था, that I borrowed from that experience when Nirupam uncle first told me about it. And I feel that it is that energy It is that and I feel it's very powerful. बहुत powerful होता है जब हम एक साथ मिलके जब एक दूसरे के जो अनुभूति है वो शेयर करते हैं, जो अनुभव है हमारा, क्योंकि उससे प्रेरणा भी मिलती है और एक अलग ऊर्जा भी आती है हम लोगों के अंदर सब एक साथ मिलके। तो इसीलिए आई एम वेरी हैप्पी, और हमने इसको प्लान नहीं किया था, बट और इस तरीके से सब ऐसे खूबसूरत एक्सपीरियंसेस सामने आके हमारे सामने उभर के आ रहे हैं, that I really feel blessed that I think even Nirupam uncle feels the same, that we worked on this and we started with this, and we want all of you to join. मतलब और आपको जो मतलब, and you should feel free. यहाँ पे कोई मनाही नहीं है, कोई यहाँ पे कुछ टिरनी या कुछ नहीं है, हम सब एक साथ हैं, हम सब एक हैं। हाँ, निरुपम अंकल और मैं इसको मॉडरेट जरूर कर रहे हैं, बट इट्स फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस, इट्स नॉट just the two of us, it's all of us. So
before you, Ronita, go ahead. Is your photos are visible? Others can see. Can you just confirm me?
Yes, I can see.
Oh, okay. So we'll go ahead with that, Ronita. जो है कि जो हम अभी फोटो हम देखेंगे और बातें करेंगे, और मॉडरेटर इस बार हम हैं, ऐसे नहीं है कि हम ही है, तो आगे से आप लोगों को भी आगे आना है, मॉडरेटर बनना है। दिस इज ओनली फॉर वन सेशन, वी आर प्लानिंग टू चेंज, विल कम अप। सो आई विल गो अहेड विद द फोटोज। मैं आके एक फोटो दिखाता हूँ और रोनिता कुछ उसमें कमेंट्स कर लो, और others are also expected to come give your comments and anything you remember about this photograph or that particular moment. Anything has happened, you can just raise your hand or you can just start speaking. We are all comfortable, no issue. Without raising hands also you can start speaking, no issue. So I'll go to the next picture.
Yes, so if any of you want to say anything, just raise your hand and I'll stop in between, but till such time I'll continue. So the Kamakhya camp was, I've attended around 5, I think, from Babaji Cave pilgrimage. Yes, 5. But this one was very powerful, and as Nirupam uncle is showing the pictures, तो ये वाला जो experience था ये गुरुजी के साथ, ये बहुत ही मतलब I don't have words. I don't think I have the spiritual vocabulary to really express myself. लेकिन एक तो इसमें हमने 5 पूरे क्रियास किए हैं, महाक्रिया किए हैं हमने less than 24 आवर्स में, और पहले 3 तो less than 12 आवर्स में हमने किया है। और ये जो कामाख्या में जो एक्सपीरियंस था, स्पेशली जब हम मंदिर के अंदर जा रहे थे, मुझे जैसे ऐसे लगा कि मतलब मेरी जो अनुभूति हुई, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि जैसे दुनिया भर का जो पावर है, जो एक शक्ति है। I mean, it's ironical that we were introduced to Shakti sadhana, but तब हमने किया नहीं था जब हम घुस रहे थे अंदर। तो and also that time that we took, I don't know, I somehow felt I was not हम 4-5 घंटे खड़े थे अंदर जाने के लिए, और ये सारे वही पिक्चर्स हैं, लेकिन ऐसा लगा ही नहीं कि हम वेट कर रहे हैं। वो एनर्जी इतनी प्योर थी, और मुझे जैसे लगा कि ये मेरी ही फैमिली है, इनसे तो मैं सालों से जुड़ी हुई हूँ, और इनके साथ रहूंगी तो सब ठीक होगा, सब सही होगा। और ऐसा लगा जैसे मतलब I don't want to use words like earthquake, tsunami and cyclone, but if there was a positive interpretation of all these, of all these phenomena, तो मुझे वो लगा तब, and I felt like this is my place. और मुझे जैसे लग रहा था कि दूसरे कभी अगर कहीं मुझे कभी वेट करना हो, जैसे यहाँ पे आप पिक्चर्स भी देख रहे हैं, यहाँ पे we've been waiting for, ये जो पिक्चर है we've been waiting for almost 2 hours, बट आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे अदिति मैम है, यहाँ पे वीना आंटी है, शिवानी आंटी है, रेखा आंटी है, मधु आंटी है। इनके चेहरे पे कहीं देख के लग नहीं रहा होगा, here when we reached here, I think it was around 1.5-2 hours, इनके चेहरे पे देख के लग नहीं रहा है कि कोई मतलब थकान है या थोड़ी सी भी इरिटेशन है, कि लग रहा है कि बस अभी हो गया, मतलब ऐसा लगा ही नहीं। yes, we were waiting, but ऐसा लग रहा था कि at least for me, I don't know about the others, ऐसा लग रहा है कि it should not end. And there was this, I've never enjoyed waiting for something, मंदिर में जा रहे हैं, ऑफ कोर्स कामाख्या है, ऑफ कोर्स इट वाज गुरुजी ने एक्सप्लेन किया था कि हम going to a site of pilgrimage is like going to a तीर्थ स्थल, because Guru itself is a तीर्थ स्थल. But जैसे यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं ये जो और इसके लिए ये जो यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं ये जो कूपन्स VIP जो कूपन्स थे वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए गए थे. So lot of background work was done by Shambhu sir. I think we all need to thank Shambhu sir. मतलब हम तो कैंप में जाते हैं, ऑफ कोर्स कंट्रीब्यूटर्स रहते हैं, बट जब कामाख्या में हम जा रहे थे और जब वो सारी वाइब ऑफ एनर्जी आ रही थी, तो ऑब्वियसली आई वाज ग्रेटफुल टू बाबा जी, माता जी, गुरु मंडल एंड ऑफ कोर्स गुरुजी. बट मुझे जैसे लगा कि शंभू सर इज रियली, आई मीन लॉजिस्टिकली वो जिस तरीके से हमारे लिए जो करते हैं, because I mean for me it was a big deal, because even like here also, as you see, we were almost close to 32 people, and everywhere we were laughing, smiling, और ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे हम जैसे ऐसा लग रहा था कि कोई मिशन है, कोई मिशन के लिए, because Kamakhya, for me also, I was not sure whether I'll be able to make it till even a week and a half before. और ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे हम जब लाइन में खड़े थे ना, कि हम कोई बहुत बड़ा, जो भी कामाख्या है, जो भी माँ का आशीर्वाद मिला है, गुरुजी, एंड गुरुजी of course invited, I mean he explained to us, those who reached Kamakhya on 28th, I was a blessed one. I had a different journey again with regard to my flight, which I'll share in one of the previous future sessions. But उन्होंने हमसे कहा था that the point of the whole significance, rather, or the objective of going with a guru to a तीर्थ स्थल, and the whole point is that the guru can, because these are very powerful places, these I mean, if we all remember, like here Guruji is explaining a lot of things to us here. And basically one of the things is that these pilgrimage sites have been frequented by many masters, by many holy souls for many years. और यहाँ पे जो गुरुजी ने हमारे, मतलब, I mean, I can't even express it, उन्होंने तो पता नहीं क्या क्या किया होगा, but one of the things that he really told us was that he was telling us that he would really borrow from all these entities and souls, and all these masters who had visited this site, and he would give us the energy in a way in which it was palatable for us, because the energy was so strong and so it was so powerful, and it had a it had a different flavor to it, that it's not possible for us to really absorb it and to really assimilate it and to sort of really manifest it in the way that it should. So that's what Guruji did for us there. और एक चीज थी कामाख्या में, जो था कि वहां पे जो हम जब लाइन में खड़े थे और हम जब वेट कर रहे थे, और उसके बाद when we entered the गर्भगृह, I'll just mention one of the experiences which I felt was it was miraculous. So I had it. So my experience of going to temples has just been through Guruji. For some reason or the other, मैं कभी मंदिर वगैरह इतना गई नहीं हूँ, गुरुजी के साथ ही मैं जा रही हूँ. So I think it was me and Indranil uncle. Somehow throughout the Kamakhya thing, he was with me, and both of us were standing in the line before just going to the Garbhagriha. There was a gentleman, and he came to us. And he told us all of a sudden, it was an unknown man, and he came to us, and of course everything was explained and everything, all those things were done, but then I was not aware about what was to happen in the Garbhagriha and everything, as in there was a water, and there was a natural spring which was there, and it was the water which was very important, and the vermilion from Ma, which they would which they made us wear on our forehead. So I was not aware of this, that there was a natural spring, and there was there was all of that, and it was a natural architecture inside the temple. So the gentleman who came to us, and he was primarily speaking to me, he was explaining everything. He said, and he was very, it was as if like you're a very concerned and a very a caring person had come to you to tell you, so that you don't miss out on something very important. And I had no idea that this was very important. I was going with the flow and all of that. And उन्होंने मुझे आके बोला कि जैसे this was I had the same feeling that I had in Mahakaleshwar, जहाँ पे सिक्योरिटी गार्ड ने इन महाकालेश्वर इन इंदौर, which was the Indore camp which took place in December, वहाँ पे भी जब मुझे सिक्योरिटी गार्ड ने मुझे सेकंड टाइम बोला कि आप जाइए दोबारा जाके दर्शन कर लीजिए. At a point in time when she was pushing everybody out, and we hardly got maybe a minute or two of darshan, or some blessed ones got more, some of our family members. But this is the same feeling that I got here. So he told me that you have just 3 seconds. आपके पास 3 seconds, 5 seconds भी नहीं होंगे. आप जाइए. You have to go straight. It's very dark there. बहुत अंधेरा है अंदर. बहुत सावधानी से जाइए. And I had no idea that it's dark and all that. I had no idea. I had never been to Kamakhya. It was my first experience. So he said that, and he was very emphatic. He would have stopped me, and he would have literally, sort of shaken me up. So he said that वहाँ जाइए और वहाँ पे आपको पानी लेना है. पानी बहुत important है. आप पानी, you touch it, you use that water and it touch and you touch your forehead with it, and do it as many times as you want to. And then you take that sindoor, and then he showed me, I don't know why. Then he showed me his vessel. He had a copper vessel, and he said, I'm taking this vessel with me. I'll get some water also with me. If you want, you can. And I have a packet of vermilion, and if they give, if they put the vermilion onto you, then it's great. And he repeated it 2-3 times. And then by the time when I went in, Indorine uncle was very protective about me. I get this very fatherly vibe from him. He was very careful because I'm a little scared of darkness. I know it's a little childish, but I don't know, somehow I get a little jittery. So it was pitch dark inside, and I think there was just the diya's light and something. And I think I wanted to switch on the light, the torch through my phone, but they didn't allow me. So he helped me through that. And inside the Garbhagriha, it was, I was in a daze. I was in a trance. I suddenly didn't know what to do. All that I had been told for the last 5 minutes, I didn't know what to do. And then the priest there, he pulled my hand and he put my hand into the water. मेरा हाथ उन्होंने मतलब लेके उन्होंने पानी में डाला, because I couldn't see anything. In any case, I'm a little jittery. I get a little nervous with the darkness. Although Indorine uncle was standing right there, he had finished, his darshan fast. I guess, I don't know. I felt like it. And then even he was standing there for me. Although everybody was being shoved, out, because like it is in all these very heavenly places, there's no time, and for good reason. Even a few minutes is, if you're blessed, you get it anyway. So, and he forced in my hand into the water, and then he said, put this water onto your head. Put this water onto your head. And he asked me to do it 2-3 times, 3-4 times. And somehow I felt, I don't know, I didn't keep track of clock time, but I think I got more time than the 3-4 seconds. And then and then I was leaving, and then I guess, if I vaguely remember, I somehow couldn't feel my bag. I wanted to give dakshina, and then I don't know how Indranil uncle was already ready with the money, and then he helped me to give the dakshina, and then and I was leaving without the vermilion, because like I said, I was in a trance, I was in a daze. I don't think I had any knowledge of my physical surroundings, So, and then he stopped me and he said, are you mad? You're not taking the sindoor. He told me, "Aap sindoor nahi laga rahe, isi ke liye to log aate hain, jaldi lagaiye." And then he put the sindoor on me, and then he again put a few drops on the water on me, and then he blessed me, and he put his hand on my head, and he blessed me. And then somehow he was very gentle with me, and he didn't force me to push out. And he said that, go carefully. Because I guess, I don't know, he has sensed that I was very jittery or nervous or whatever. I think he sensed that, this girl is a little bit in her own world or something. So, and of course, then again, Indranil uncle was waiting till that time. And it was quite some time. It was not 3-4 seconds or 1 or 2 minutes. It was more than that. So then he helped me out. And then when I went outside, there was a mandir, there was a temple. I'm sorry, it's around 9:23, but I'll just share it since we've shown the Kamakhya pictures. There is this mandir outside with the idol, and there was a priest there. He called me again, because there was some of our family members were looking for a priest, because some of them, they couldn't offer puja. They had bought a dali, the tokri, वो टोकरी खरीदा था उन्होंने, but कोई था नहीं पूजा देने के लिए. और मेरे पास कोई टोकरी नहीं थी, मैंने कुछ नहीं खरीदा था. I go because Guruji takes me, and it's all because of him and Babaji and Mataji, So and I was leaving, मुझे लगा कि अब तो हो गया है, अब निकल जाते हैं. And then he called me, and then he blessed me again, and he put his hand over my head, and then he said that take the blessings of Ma. And I didn't know. I don't think I was doing it, but then I took the blessings of Ma hand and I touched my head onto that railing of the idol, and then of course I made my way out. So of course many more things to share, but this was one of the things which was, and I I felt, I don't know, I felt like I felt like the divine was helping me and all, because I had no idea that always was to happen. So yeah, that's what it is. So
Okay, yeah, Ronita, very good, very nice sharing. Now we have come to the end of the program. Actually, we thought of covering, I think, a lot more, but anyway, good job done, whatever is done. So we'll, I think, end with Shaanti Paath. I'll request RPA to take over for Shaanti Paath.
All right, so we'll conclude our session with Shaanti Paath. Om. Sarvesham swastirbhavatu. Sarvesham shantirbhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukkhavag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om.